Hello fellas, hope you're all fine. Happy. Today we are working with the Power BI desktop, which is a very powerful tool in business intelligence. Actually, I was working on something, then decided to record it and make a video. So let's move on. Except Power BI, there are a lot of tools for business intelligence. Uh, if you check the internet here, I just already searched top 10 business intelligence tools. You can see Power BI is in the top, and there are a lot of reasons. Uh, I'm going to explain it later on. Another one is Oracle Analytic Cloud, MicroStrategy, Spotfire, SAS, Demo, and Tableau is also famous. However, we are using just the Power BI here. I have typed some notes here about Power BI. The reasons that most people are using is this one is free and easy to use. I mean, the Power BI desktop is free, but when we publish the data and we use the cloud, then there will be some charges. And the second reason is that it's fully interactive. It's completely interactive, and another advantage, or I can say the capability of Power BI is you can use different sources. It's really amazing in compressing data. For example, you can handle hundreds of millions of rows of data. So just it will compress the data in a very small size. And mainly about Power BI, if you want to master it, firstly, you need to master the queries. There is mainly a part of Power BI is called Power BI Kitchen. This is the name that most BPS business process analysts gives this name. So there you can edit the data. You can, before loading the data, you can bring some changes. The second thing that you need to master is the relationship and DAX, data analysis expressions, which is all about the functions and the formulas. Later on, we will just do some examples of them. Working with the Power BI, you need to follow different steps. So first, you import the data, then you edit the data if needed before importing. Relationships. The third step, you need to check it out whether there are correct relationships between the tables or no. And then you are creating some DAX, some new columns if needed, or measures. And then you move on to visualization. I can say this is the most important part, not actually the most important part. You can say this is the whole point of using Power BI to create visualizations. So this is all about creating visualizations. Whatever we are doing, creating DAX, checking the relationships, and whatever, the final target is to create the visualizations from the data that we have. The visualizations are used to make business decisions. For example, for the top management, it's hard to move on through the reports, daily logs. So what they do, they hire a BPA, business process analyst, and that BPA get the data from the database and create the visualization. And top management will use those visualizations, those pictures and charts and dashboard to make business decisions. And the next step is to publish. After creating your visualization, you can publish and you can share it. So you can create your own dashboard based on your own needs. So let's move on. I have opened Power BI desktop. Let's import the data. I have a data here. The report from the sales report from a company. Just click and check if they need transformations. Select all of them. You can directly load if you can see this specific table. For example, let's say this sales table. It doesn't need any transformation for now. Just load it. And product table also doesn't need. However, we just mark all of them, and some of them if needs transformation, so I just click transform data. For the branches, okay, so This one should be as the first row. Same case with this one. Use the first row as header for the category also. For the product, this one is okay. Okay. And if there is any column which is not needed, just you can delete it from here. Everything seems fine, so let's close and apply. And okay, now we have loaded the data. The second important part you should consider is the relationships. Click here and see how is the relationships. The relationships are based on so in the database, let me say there are tables, and the relationship between the tables are based on certain keys. We have primary keys, we have foreign keys, composite keys, different keys in each table, and those tables are being linked based on those certain keys. For example, the relationship between this branch and sales, if we check the relationship as the branch code. The branch code is in both of them, so this somehow links these two tables. In Power BI, simply you can just drag and drop certain attributes, specific attributes from one table to another to make a relationship. For example, the brands doesn't have any relationship here, and it's needed to be a relationship between the brand and product. What we do is the brand, just we drag and drop this brand, the brand attributes from the product table to the brand table, and now you can see the relationship is built here. And other relationships are fine, and we don't need to bring changes. And then you can move on to the data view. Here you can see all the data. For example, I click on the sales table and whatever branch, you can see these are the data from the sales table. Here you can add new columns, and you can, if needed, based on your own needs. This is what DAX, as we mentioned earlier, we can create new columns, and we can use certain formulas, or we can create measures. So what we want to do here, let me say, for example, we want to find out the total sales or gross sales. Let me say total sales. What is total sales? Total sales is, let's say, the units sold into what? Into selling price. What is selling price? We don't have selling price here, but we have the selling price in the product table. If we go to product table, you can see we have the selling price here. So what we can do is just we go back to this sales table, and this one and this one, we bring the selling price from the product table. In order to do that, we need to use the keyword related selling price. This is what our total sales is for each product. And also we can create one more column, for example, for the profit, to find out our profit. Name it profit. Now, okay, what profit? You can say total sales. Total sales from the sales table minus what? Units sold into what? Into cost price. How much that specific product cost for you. So we don't have the cost price here. We need to bring it from another table related to cost price from the product table. And okay, and okay. So now let's just click enter, and you can see the profit for each, the total profit for each product. Okay, so let's move on to report or visualizations. Here there are a lot of charts, graphs, and so you can use all of them and any of them based on your own needs. So let me just move on with what it's a column chart, and here I want to find out the sales for by product category. For example, I add the category name as the x-axis and the total sales as the value. Okay, so here it is, and the kids wear, women wear, and these are just the categories we have, and which categories has been sold more. You can edit here, you can bring changes in the visualization, generally in x-axis or y-axis. For example, in x-axis the color for this text can be, for example, red, and you can increase the size. It should be not that big. You can change the font, and same case with the y-axis, you can bring the changes. And the data label, these labels, you can bring some changes, the color, the position, inside end, and the data color, the color for this data. You can bring some changes, for example, whatever. Or if you want to change the color for each bar. Kids wear, for example, we have less cells, it should be red color, and this one is, it can be green, and this is blue, not green. Okay, so it's fine. Boys are normally colorblind. This one, which has the more cells, you can change it to light blue. You can edit it. You can add other visualizations here. For example, you can add another pie chart to find out the cells by the branches. For example, we have branch. You can add the branch location. Pie chart, the branch location here, you can just click. And what else? We want to find out the cells by each branch. When you click, the cells will be automatically total cells as the values. You can see there are 3 different branches in Colombo, Sri Lanka for this company, and the cells for each branch. Again, you can bring some changes here. This is all about the visualizations and stuff. And then you can find, for example, the profit for each month. And we can create another, and here we can add the date as the x-axis, not by year, not, let's say, by month, and then we can add, we have the profit here, value, profit. Well, you can see the profit for each month here. And if you want, for example, you can add a table. And you want to find out the profit by the category, for example. Just I add where is the category? Which categories we got the most profit? Category name, and then you can just click the totals, the profit here. You can click ascend, you can ascend and descend them, or the units sold also you can add here. This is what you do. You can add a card here, and for example, for what? For the sales, total sales. That's the total sales. For example, we want to find out, we want to show only the maximum sale we had in one day. Or we can add multi-row cards here. There we can add the sales, total sales. And we can just show this that one was the maximum, this one we can show the average. Can add another card, and again we can add sales, and let's say this time the minimum, maximum, minimum, and average. Okay, so what else you can do? For example, we can add a line chart here. Add this one. As I said, this is fully interactive. For example, just I want to find out the sales for the details about only the month September. You can just see all of them are being changed to the September exactly. If I double click, for example, on September, if I drill down for a specific day, you can see the details, the sales for that specific one day, September 10, September 9. So this is fully interactive. It's very interesting about Power BI. And you can do whatever you want. For example, let me add a Linus chart. Here we want to find out what? The profit, for example. The date as the x-axis. Let's say by month, that's okay. And the profit as the value. The profit as the value. So this is what the profit is based on month, and you can change it as the date. So here it is, for a specific date the profit is going up and down. Okay, the profit for a specific date. You can add something called forecast. Based on the previous data, you just predict the future, the profit for the future. And I just click forecast and I add here, and you can see what? Months, days, let's say months for the next 5 months. Based on the previous data, we are predicting the future. This is November 2019, and we are predicting December to January and February 2020. And ignore any month, no, the confidence level, how sure you are the business goes the way it is, and just apply. You can see the okay, let me just click on it. Here it is, the sales, the profit for the from the data that we have in our database, and this is the forecast, the predicted profit in the next 4 or 5 months. You can see this is the December 2019, January, February 2020, and April 2020. So this data is from the last year. April 2020 is already passed. However, and you can do many things. So this is what it is. You create the visualizations based on the data you have. Now it is easy for the management to see this data and to make effective business decisions. Like for them, it's hard to move to go through the report. So just they see the charts for the sales, the chart for the let's say the profit and for the branches, whatever it is, and they can make business decisions easily and it's less time consuming. This is all about business intelligence. So now you can publish and share it. Just for now, it's enough. Just subscribe for more videos. The next video will be about what if analysis in Power BI desktop. Stay tuned, stay in touch for more videos about BI, AI, IoT, cloud, programming, and other tech and business related videos. And thank you very much. Have a good day.
Audio Jungle.